Barbara, and my hair was, I had this huge Jufro out to, out to my shoulders, and oh, it was definitely what I would call a magnet for women. I mean, there's another way around, there's another expression, but I want to keep this. I want to keep it. What do they call it?
Remember,
I
this
don't
is
know.
a story about the
PG.
waterbed. It's a
Oh
story
yeah,
about
yeah,
the
right, right, right,
waterbed.
right, right. I can't talk about Susan. You're right. I won't mention her name. But so. Uh, I was living I was staying with a friend in Forest Hills, and they had a waterbed, and they loved this waterbed. They just loved this waterbed. And I had just gotten a buck knife, one of the like about that big.
Yeah.
And I was practicing flicking it open like a switchblade, phew, phew, phew. And I'm doing it in the bedroom, and the blade flies out of my hand, but it was closed. It was closed, and so I didn't think anything of it. And then I said, "Oh fuck, man, I don't want to do any damage to this bed." Then that night, I hear, "Jan, get the fuck in here." I said, "What?" He says, "Were you playing with that stupid knife over my waterbed?" And it opened just a little bit, and he had a leak in his waterbed. Man, he still talks to me about that, and that's
That's
like
funny.
50 years ago.
Crazy.
Hey, anyway, listen, welcome everybody. Thinking out loud with friends. We're having a great time. Um, this is our 229th meeting, and we are streaming. And that's it. Just remember, everything here is an opinion, and do your own research. And thanks for coming, and thanks for watching. And so we were talking about earthquakes and hurricanes,
And waterbeds.
and waterbeds. And I think that's about it for today. We've spoken enough.
All at the
Oh yeah.
same time. Yeah, right.
Oh yeah, all at the same time. So remember, hey, thanks for watching. Remember, click the like button. What else do I have to say? Yeah, click the like button. There you go. And welcome to the show. So, what's new and exciting in everybody's world? So Wayne's down in Australia. He doesn't have any problems. Maybe they have big fires where he is, right?
He doesn't have any problems.
I think everyone's got problems.
He's got all the same problems we have, just with an accent.
Wayne, you got problems? Hey, lay down and tell it to us.
No, I'm all good. The electrons are happy, and the koalas are happy, and the kangaroos are happy. Well, I think they are. Anyway, I haven't asked them. But
hey, speaking of which, you guys hear about the two pandas that are here in Washington, D.C.? I'm actually going to go see a panda.
No, you can't see them. They're in quarantine for 3 months.
Oh, they are?
Yeah.
Did you hear about
just saved me a trip downtown. Thanks.
You
can't
can
see
see
them
them
through glass?
on the Panda Cam, though.
the cam?
Oh, the Panda Cam.
The
Anybody
Panda
have
Cam.
the link for the Panda Cam?
Yeah, you should be able to dial into it, right?
Yeah.
So
Well,
I'll figure it out. I'll Google it.
That
Panda
was a
Cam.
big thing for FedEx.
Yeah, did you see that?
They had it was a Panda Express. They had their own 767 Boeing. The Pandas were in 1A and 1B, and and that sparks all sorts of jokes. How many, if you were on that flight, on that cargo flight, would you argue with a panda for the armrest?
Our pandas are more or less gentle creatures, aren't they?
But they're very strong. I mean, their bite is the second strongest because they have to chew through all that bamboo. So,
Yeah, they eat bamboo like crazy, man. They're a bamboo hound.
I think they're veggies, aren't they? Aren't they vegetarians?
Bamboo.
Well, they just eat bamboo. That's all.
Yeah, just bamboo.
That's what they eat.
But
and you watch them sit there and just
that doesn't mean if don't poke the panda.
Well, I saw a guy poke him in the nose as he was walking down, the ramp. It's like he didn't mean to poke him in the nose, but he was saying, "Hey, go this way, go this way." Like the panda understood. I don't know what it was.
As he was walking down the ramp.
Yeah, he was walking down
that's
the
like
ramp.
a song or something. I saw a panda walking down the ramp at American Airlines or something.
Well, I have something for Wayne, actually. The king of Bhutan has been in Australia for the past week.
Wow.
What the hell's he doing there?
Well, it's the second it's well, there's more Bhutanese in Australia than any other country.
Hmm.
You know, where they go away to school and stuff, and they filled a football stadium in Perth, all
Wow.
with Bhutanese.
Oh,
So,
yeah.
so
That's kind of interesting.
it was amazing. I forwarded on my on my Facebook. So, but it was incredible. So,
What are
so
the
yeah,
borders of Bhutan? What is Bhutan border?
border China and India.
Now, if you look up Bhutan in Google, will you find something, or is that just a
Yes,
made-believe city? You know,
Bhutan.
like the mouse that roared. You know?
No, yeah, it's funny. His
A
Majesty
make-believe
the King,
city.
His
Yeah.
Majesty the Fourth King once said that if China or India sneeze, Bhutan will get a cold.
Yeah, probably so.
Yeah,
Probably
because
so.
yeah, it's just they're a very small, independent nation who's kind of the buffer zone between India and China, who hate each other.
Man, that's got to be a dangerous place to live.
It's wonderful. It's idyllic.
I
You
mean,
know, when
how
you
does
get back to
China let it
Thailand,
exist? How does China let it exist?
Yeah, really.
You know, it's just,
it's
do they have
it's
any
been there
defenses?
for forever and ever and ever, and they've kind of negotiated. You know, yeah. First off, you got the Himalayas there. You know, their northern border is the eastern Himalayan range.
Yeah, it looks
So
Well,
like they're right
Nepal is
above
up there.
Bangladesh.
Nepal is up there, and China is not really happy about Nepal.
yeah, well, yeah,
Yeah, well, China
You
kind
know,
of wants everything, you know?
yeah,
that's what I'm saying. They're right on Bhutan, you know, and like he said, if they sneeze, you know, they own the
yeah,
country. That's all there is to it.
yeah. Well, it's been it's you know nations in that part of the world have been seasoned through, like the British tried to conquer them and they couldn't do it. You know,
Well,
so
they're, you know, Nepal and Bhutan, they're used to running around in those mountains, and most people are not.
right,
Yeah.
right. As a
Probably
matter of
all the
fact,
English people probably got altitude sickness.
Well,
until
that's why nobody's ever beaten the
1962.
Afghans. That's why, you know, the Afghanistans are, you know, that territory. It's really a tough area if you don't live there, if you don't know it backwards and forwards, if you're not native to it. It's a really difficult area.
Up until 1962, Bhutan's post office used runners. They actually ran from, you know,
Really?
one area to the other, and then, you know, then in 1962 they modernized the maybe a little bit earlier in 62, but at 62 sticks in my mind. They modernized, joined the International Postal Union, and modernized postal service in the Kingdom of Bhutan, and
Yeah.
that was His Majesty the Third King who
That's right. And
started
he
all that.
banned firecrackers up their ass, I heard. They would no longer use firecrackers in their ass to get them to move faster, I heard. But that might not be
No,
true.
you heard
Do
wrong.
your own research. Do your own
Yes,
research. There you go. You know.
yeah. You know, you get on the wrong side of me, you start criticizing Bhutan there.
No, no,
Yeah.
I'm not criticizing them. I'm just pointing out that they were very fast in those days. You
So
know, and now
I
you
would
know
highly
why.
recommend, Jan, that you and Bo take a trip there.
There you go. That's right. I'll
I
say hello
mean,
to the king. I'll tell him you sent me.
sure.
I like,
See how
you
far
know what,
that gets you.
yeah, if I get anywhere near the king. You know, I mean, Thailand's got a king too, but you know, I don't know him personally. Actually, I knew somebody that did know the king's father, and it was his mother. And when we went over to the house, she had pictures of her and the king, where the king was sitting and she was kneeling at his feet.
Right?
Um, and that, you know,
That's
that's
Thai
really
protocol.
impressive. Yep,
Very,
yep.
very strict.
Yeah,
Yeah.
you're not allowed to look the king in the eye.
Right.
You know, that's an interesting thing. And speaking of the king, Tom Brady. Tom Brady
Yep.
just became part owner of the Raiders.
Really?
Yeah.
Yep. Yeah,
That's
he now owns
interesting.
5%. The NFL owners approved him. And so now he owns 5% of the Raiders. I
Now,
wonder what
and
that
he's
set him
got
back.
such a complicated set of rules because he works for Fox or NBC, Fox, as a broadcaster for I don't
Right.
know how many years. So it's like whenever he's going to be assigned to a Raiders game, he can't go to any of he can't interview the players. He can't be in the locker rooms. He can't do anything. Because the broadcasters worried about impartiality.
So do you think he had those balls deflated?
Oh yeah. Any
Wayne, what do you
advantage.
think? Oh,
Any
yeah.
advantage.
I don't know,
he
but
meant it as a joke, but yeah.
I don't know, but on the news last
I know that.
Yep.
on the national news last night, Sydney's got a problem with black balls coming up on the beaches.
Black
Why is
balls.
that?
I don't know. They're sorting it out. I think they've worked it out what it is, but they're all these. They closed the beaches. That was on the
Really?
national news last. All these black balls turning up.
And what are they made of?
Oil. Apparently.
Oh, oil.
Oh.
Oh, that's not good.
No,
When
it's
I
not
lived in
good, but
Santa Barbara, that was back in the day of 1970, something like that. When I was going to school up at Santa Barbara, we had a problem with that on the beach. You could walk on the beach, and then you'd have like kerosene to take the tar off your feet by the time you finished walking. It was horrible.
oh yeah, it was a bad thing, but it sounded funny. You know, they were all because they didn't realize they didn't know what it was at first for half a day, and they're looking at these squishy and they're putting them in jars, and they were quite big. They were like about that big. All these black
Yeah.
balls rolling around the beach, but then they worked out it was not good. So I think they're
Well,
cleaning it
they'll
all up
be
now.
able to. Yeah, they got it down to where they can figure out where any oil comes from now.
How does it create the ball? But how does it create the? I was intrigued because they were quite round, you know, like spongy little fellas.
Well, because they
Oil's pretty
accumulate.
thick.
Hmm.
Yeah, the
Natural
tar
oil.
oils, the sand tar oils is what you're getting. You're not getting, you're not getting loose, gooey oil. It's seeping out of,
Yeah, it's not like Deepwater Horizon oil.
yeah,
Oh
that's
yeah.
right. That's right, But you're getting pretty
Lord.
steep shit there with that, It's a sticky wicket. And speaking
Mm.
of sticky wickets and staying with our industry, what's the story I hear about Garth Brooks accused of sexual assault? And now he's now accusing her as well of what is he accusing her of? He's accusing her of extortion.
Mm.
Oh.
I can't believe that he sexually extorted his hairdresser. I just
You
find
know,
that
I have
hard to
trouble
believe.
believing that too, but
Right back.
who knows
You know?
anymore, but
Yeah, well, I don't believe it. I mean, I would like to think that here's this guy is a superstar. There would be a million groupies that he could have, and why would he want to shit where he eats and ruin a good thing with his hair person? I just
yeah.
don't see it. Doesn't make any sense.
No, it
Look,
doesn't
I
make
mean,
any
Wayne,
sense.
if you had a hair person, you would never do it. I could see you could use that kind of service, personal hairdresser doing everything for you, right? Dressing you, taking care of you, feeding you, Well,
No, I think I'm
it's
quite
almost like a
happy.
wife.
Yeah, I think I'm happy just as me. And you get into less trouble. Is that correct?
I agree. I agree, Wayne. I agree. So, are you going to buy a McLaren? I hear the new McLarens, the W1 is only $2.1 million. It's a hybrid supercar, the McLaren. Are you going to get
Wow.
one?
Well, considering
But if you do, you got to get one for me too. You can't get one alone because we're going to have to race down the street. That's the kind of friend I want.
yeah, if
McLarens are beautiful cars.
they are, I've got a photo somewhere. I don't know what I did with it, but here a while back, I did a one-off show. It was actually
By the way,
he
while
froze.
he's looking for that, and speaking of money, did anybody get
First,
affected by the Bank of America incident last week, where
who did?
where where all of the Bank of America accounts were reset to zero? Did anybody have that happen to them? My God, that would have freaked me the fuck out, man. Just to see my bank account go to zero. I mean, it's already
That's
small.
pretty
Well, mine's
To be
scary.
at
already
zero.
zero.
Yeah.
Mine's already
No,
zero.
but
So
I
I don't
gotta tell you, there's probably some openings in the Bank of America IT department this week.
Yeah, they're saying it was just a glitch, but right now this is Happy Cybersecurity Awareness Month. So, people should be aware of that, you know?
So going back to we went for this thing on Sunday morning, Jan. I have never, and I'm sure you have because you're in LA and Hollywood and all that. But we went to go to the first shop, a little breakfast shop. I have never seen so many expensive cars in the one street in my life. There was McLarens and there was Ferraris and so it was obviously all the wealthy people for their Sunday drive. They go and have breakfast. I got a photo. There's like about 8 cars, between. There was Porsches. I'm going. It was unreal. The whole street. I'm sure you see that.
And
I'm sure you see that in
what happened
Hollywood.
when you woke up? Did you pee in
Oh,
your
no, we
bed
just-
at that time? Oh, no.
No. When
Oh, it wasn't a dream.
No, it wasn't a dream. It was
Oh.
absolutely real, 100% real. And then we decided, well, that was full. And I said, that's probably a good thing because we probably won't be able to afford the breakfast in there. So we went back down the street and found another one. Sunday morning, I've never seen, it was just unreal. I've never, ever seen that many expensive cars in the one street. It was just bizarre.
It's really cool to see. I love cars. I mean, Americans have really a big fascination with cars. I've been to so many car shows. Have you ever been to a Barrett Jackson show? I believe they have them in Australia, right? That is something special. The
Oh,
Barrett
I go
Jackson.
nuts at those.
Oh my God.
That
feel-
and Meekum, same thing.
Yeah, you feel so insignificant that you can't afford anything in the show, not even the price of admission, if you didn't sneak in. What the hell,
Well, the Americans definitely have or you USAians, I should say. You definitely have a like lots of Australians, but not so much nowadays. But you have an affiliation with cars. There's definitely no doubt about that. I was watching the what is it? The Pickers yesterday. They were investigating. They had some beauties on a couple. I don't know. It was yesterday or the day before, but they had some beauties like 1934 Fords, and they look really good. There was one they collected yesterday. I think they got it for 20 grand or something or other on the show. I don't know how it all works, but anyway, they're flash looking mobiles. But
yeah.
But I was right into the cars when I was. Then you run out of money, so you do audio, and you do cars, and they're both expensive hobbies, aren't they?
Or either that, or you get the model ones, the ones that are like only 6 inches. Yeah.
Yeah.
That way.
So I've got a few of those. I got a fair few of those.
There you go.
Yeah.
So hey, look, I always say it's not what you have, it's who you know and what they have. That's what makes you rich, when you know people that have the shit like I used to have a friend that had this huge boat. I didn't need a boat. Every time I wanted to go on a boat, I call him up and say, "Hey, what are you doing? You going out on the boat?" "Yeah, let's go it." So I never needed my own boat. And then it was always great. You finish the boat, you help them clean, and then boom, you're gone. If something breaks, that's his problem, not mine, And they say, boat owners, it's an expensive hobby, boat.
The two happiest days of your life is the day you buy the boat, and the day you sell the boat.
Yeah.
So an interesting quick story. The guy's name was Al Siniscal, and Al Siniscal owned A1 Audio. And to tie it back to the music business, Wayne,
What a good guy.
he made his living. He made most of his money to buy this boat thanks to Andrew Lloyd Webber and the Broadway play. Oh God, Starlight Express.
Really?
Express. Yep.
Did not know that.
And so just an FYI for those people listening in and don't know how the business works. Once you get the main show, that you make a ton of money, but you have to put out a ton of money as a cash outlay. And so if the show doesn't run very long, you lose your money. But if it runs forever, like Starlight Express, you make money. But the best part about it is you also own the contract for all the touring companies that go out. And so like a company like Mass Sound, who became PRG, they had, Phantom of the Opera, for example. And there is a million road shows of those. And they had Chorus Line, and there's a million road shows. And they make tons of money because they have all of the touring shows. So anyway, from the money that he made off of Starlight Express, he bought this boat, and he named the boat Starlight Express. A few years later, Andrew Lloyd Webber gave him the show, or actually, the guy that gave him the show was Martin Levant, who is the sound designer for Andrew Lloyd Webber. Don't trust me, do your own research. And he gave him Chess, the Broadway play Chess. And of course, as you all know, and if you don't know, Chess ran for about a week or so. And he had millions of dollars involved in gear for this show, but it closed really quickly. And the anchor on his boat is named Chess. So just FYI, there you go. So the boat was Starlight Express. The anchor was called Chess.
I didn't know that Mask became PRG.
Yes, Mask became PRG.
Because Mask was big in all the Broadway shows. They had a ton of audio gear in all those,
Yep. Mask was bought by PRG. I believe it was their first
big purchase
acquisition after they bought Bash Lighting, which was largest.
Bash.
Yeah, Bash Lighting was the largest lighting company on Broadway, and Mask was one of the larger sound companies.
So, were you familiar with Bash Lighting?
Yes, I was.
And
I know.
You know their loading dock in the back?
No.
They had a single loading dock in the back, and there was a telephone pole in the worst possible spot. And when I worked for Staging Techniques, I used to have to get the tractor trailer off the main street, down the side street, around that telephone pole, and up to that dock. And I'll tell you, that was a job. Probably the hardest place I ever had to back into in my life.
Actually, I might be wrong about Mask. I'm thinking now that it might have been another company. Promix. That's what it was. Promix.
Oh, Promix. Yeah.
Promix. Yes, that's it. Promix. That was it. Not Mask. I believe they ended up buying Mask as well. I'm pretty sure that they did.
Well, I did a lot of stuff with Maryland Sound. We had a good time.
Yeah, I'm here in Baltimore right now. I should go down to see Maryland Sound, see what's going on over there, but I haven't.
I haven't seen those guys in ages and ages, but I did a bunch of Mohawk carpets, Mohawk shows in.
Yeah, I got some rug burns from that once
in DC. What? Don't even go. I don't want to know.
Hey, Kurt, how you doing?
We started with the water beds, and we're going to end with rug burns.
Oh no, we're not going to end there. We should though. We should.
Hi, Kurt.
Hey,
congratulations to Kurt.
Yes, Sound Company of the Year of the Northwest.
Really, that's great. Congratulations.
Another round of voting coming up, so everybody please vote for Point Source.
That would be much appreciated.
Yeah, as I always say, vote early and vote often. That's it. In this case, you can.
I promise not to be a dictator on day one.
Yeah,
that's it. Thank you. What about day two? That's the question.
Well, you have to talk to my guys about that.
Yeah. Anyway, we've always tried not to make this show political. And let's try that at least till the last week of the elections, and then we'll talk about it.
We really shouldn't.
All right, we shouldn't. All right.
No,
well,
we'll
debate about it.
Yeah.
Anyway, congratulations though on that. It's a really amazing achievement.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Thanks.
Congratulations, Kurt.
It's a lot of hard work,
a
lot of investment, and a lot of luck. And luck is when opportunity meets preparedness.
And you're smart enough to grab it when it goes by.
Yeah.
Now, Kurt, did I hear you say something about going to Las Vegas and then finding out that F1 is there and then not going?
Yeah, I needed 2,500 more miles to make my status with Alaska,
Mm-hmm.
and I could probably just buy stuff on the credit card, but I didn't do anything summerish at all. So Denise and I were like, we should just go someplace for a quick weekend away. And we thought, oh, Vegas, why not? And maybe see Maxon and stuff like that. But then he's the one who said, yeah, there's F1 and it's going to screw everything up. Plus, everything was super expensive, like flights, everything was just jacked through the ceiling. And so we said, once we figured out what was going on, and he said that like the tracks were going to block all the view and everything, and it was just going to be a mess. So we opted
When
for
is the
Napa.
F1 race?
End of the month.
End of the month, I thought it was first week in November. I thought it was November. But
well, they're building it all right now. All the blockade stuff and the overpasses and all that. Michael sent me pictures, and he's just like, "This is what you're going to see if you get here," and and the prices were double what you'd expect for everything.
I have to go out to the Virgin Hotel on November 1st for a site survey. Hopefully I'm going to miss this. I don't want to be have anything to do with this.
We were going to fly on the 30th and come back on the 2nd, and and all the flights, all the hotels, everything was just massively marked up. And Michael sent pictures, and he said they're already building all this stuff. You're not going to be able to get anywhere or see anything. It's going to be a mess. So it takes like a month. It takes like a month to build it all, I guess, and get it all ready.
Oh, it takes more than that, but they've done it already once before. So I guess they must be prepared, or at least they know what they're doing.
He says they're actively building all this stuff now, and not to come. So
holy cow!
And I'd never been to Napa, and I've been to Vegas a bunch of times, so it's actually a better idea.
It's actually November 21st is the first day of practice.
Okay, that's good. Yeah, November 24th is the first day. Okay, I knew that it wasn't.
Oh, okay. Yeah. So it's a ways. Okay.
Yeah. So because that makes sense, because I'm flying in right now. I'm scheduled to fly in on the 7th, and then we fly out on the 20th. And I didn't have any problem getting tickets to leave, nor did I get tickets have problems to get back to Las Vegas, and I'm hoping that I'll get there a little earlier. But F1 arrives in Las Vegas on November 19th,
right, for
the 2024 Las Vegas Grand Prix. There are, I guess it's insane. I wonder what the tickets are.
Oh, they're
thousands.
Yeah.
I can't even believe they do that there. Oh, they must have made money or they wouldn't be doing it again.
They did, and the large
they have a 10-year contract.
Love them, like the Wynn and the Bellagio, and
all on the Strip right there. Don't they go right down the Strip?
Yeah.
They love those rooms. Must have been ridiculous.
The people who came in spent big money. They were big rollers. And they made a lot of money, but the smaller places, like where Manilow plays, what's the name of that? Westgate. Yeah, they didn't make money on it because of all the traffic. People couldn't get there.
So. A lot of the businesses.
What?
Yeah, a lot of the businesses inside the track area really lost a lot of money last year.
Yeah.
So it's 38 days, 4 hours, 25 minutes, and 52 seconds. And I'm clicking on it right now. Buy tickets, see what the tickets cost. Let's see. General admission. Well, if you have to ask, you can't afford it, I guess.
So do they have like bleachers on the side of the Strip?
Yeah. Yep.
Oh, wow.
Let's see. Friday tickets. I'm going to look at Friday tickets. Of course, they're being sold by Ticketmaster. So it just seems so unfair that the way they do that. And then, okay, if you go to am.ticketmaster.com, well, actually just Google F1 and you could see the track when you go to buy tickets. And then you could pick a spot. So, $175. It seems like it's $175 for tickets anywhere along the track, any along around the race site.
Will be another $150.
Yeah, parking, $125. Yes,
So is the
that's
race
it.
one day? Is it just
Yeah.
3
Yeah, then
days.
there's practices and that kind of stuff.
and they have time
All-
trials and all that stuff, but the actual race is just one
Yeah.
shot, right?
One evening.
Yeah,
Wow.
one evening. Yep, yep. Anyway, it's very cool. I mean, that I'm glad that I'm not going to be there. Formula One,
Zoom.
if you've never been around one of them, they are loud, man. The races are
Yeah.
super loud. I mean, really loud.
Well, I used to work at the Long Beach Grand Prix. We used to do concerts at the Hyatt right there. For
That was the one I used to go to, the Long Beach Grand Prix.
yeah,
And
that was
yeah.
pretty fun.
Yeah, our office. Well, it was the one time in my life for 3 years I wasn't in the entertainment business. I was working for Dun and Bradstreet, and Dun and Bradstreet had an office right in the middle of the track, and it was in a skyscraper building, one of the taller. Wasn't a skyscraper, but it was the tallest building around. And so we all went there and watched the race from the balcony. It was pretty cool.
Oh,
Very,
wow.
very loud.
Yeah, they've closed all those loopholes now.
Yeah.
You got you know everybody wants as much. They want to squeeze every single dollar out of you.
Well,
And
if you have a building in the middle of the racetrack, they can't come up and paint your windows or put paper over your windows. You have to let you in, and they have to let you see the race from there.
true,
But
but if
what they've done is the
if you
overpasses in Las
invite
Vegas.
families and friends and that kind of stuff. There was a big thing that happened at the Miami Grand Prix, which was exactly that. A guy was going to charge people to come into they were going to have a big party in his office building, which is in the overlooks the track. And they said, and F1 said, well, you could do that, but we want to cut. It's our race. And you're charging people. So, yeah.
Yeah, I could see how they could do that, but the guy was a schmuck for letting people know he was doing it. That's it.
Yeah.
If he was going to do it, you got to do it clandestine, and say, "Hey, buddy, want to buy a watch?" That's it.
Yeah.
Want to buy a watch?
Yeah, that's Dun and Bradstreet. Hey, buddy.
You
Want to
buy a watch?
bread already?
Anyway, speaking of being clandestine, I mentioned this a little while ago. This is Cybersecurity Awareness Week, and one of the things that I want to point out to you guys, and I know you guys are smart, and it probably won't affect you, but I just got an email from this company called IDX that provides me my, I guess they do. Fraud check for me. Basically, what they do, I got it for free from one of the companies that got spoofed, and so they gave us this service. And they sent me an email today saying that there's going to be a lot of scams going on around election time, and you have to watch out for election season scams where people will try to screw you over, try to take your vote, or try to get you to give them money for a party that they don't really give the money to. So be really careful about that today. If you see anything that seems out of the ordinary as far as the election, just make believe that it is a scam and don't get involved in it. So that's
Well,
my
yeah,
word to
that's
the
going
wise.
on in Florida for and all in the southeast for hurricane relief stuff.
Oh yeah, hurricane relief, and then I mean, there's a million ways to skin a cat. Not that I've ever skinned a cat, or I know, but I've read somewhere that there's a million ways. Politically incorrect.
You're not in the right
Expression.
state for that.
What was that?
You're not in the right state for skinning cats.
Yes, that's right. I'm not in Ohio.
Yeah, really, Ohio.
Yeah.
That's where I go.
Did
But you know what?
anybody see that one of the members of One Dimension, Liam, I think his name was, he fell off his balcony in Argentina and died this afternoon.
Wow.
Guess he won't do that again.
He was
Yeah.
there. One Dimension was playing there, and or other members of the band were playing there, and so he was there to see them, and Yeah, it was just on the news a few minutes ago. So,
Sorry to hear about that. Sorry to really. I mean, that's, may he rest in peace.
yeah.
For sure. Well, I'm not going to let you bring me down. That's all.
All
Don't
right.
bring me down, Bruce. That's it.
It,
Oh,
it
oh,
was
it's
me
Greg.
who said it.
All right. Anyway, I got a story for you, Greg. You wear Crocs, don't you?
Not anymore.
It's a bunch of Croc, I tell you that. But
Yeah.
do you know that Croc just came out with a Croc for dogs?
Matched pairs. So a person can get a set in the same design as your dogs. My little dog here, you put something on his feet, he's kicking it out so quickly.
Well, I could see when the cold and in the hot, it's a great idea. I think it's a great idea. My dog, when Lucky, when we were in Las Vegas, when he was alive, and the pavement was really hot, I'd have to carry him. And now I could give him a pair of Crocs, and walk on
And
his
watch
own.
him melt on the pavement as he walks.
Yeah, exactly.
You had a dog in Vegas named Lucky?
Yes, I did. Oh yeah, if you've ever seen the company logo, you'll know that that's a dog, and that's Lucky.
I was going to say, did you have a cat named Bugsy?
No, I never had a cat. Never had a cat. Cats, I'm a more of a dog person. Just like the Niff and Tiff of Boffindale, he's a dog person as well. And did you guys hear that there's going to be a new sphere in Abu Dhabi?
I heard, yeah.
Dubai, I thought. Or is it Abu Dhabi?
Abu Dhabi.
Abu Dhabi.
Yeah, Abu Dhabi is going to be the second place to have a spear. It's going to be pretty interesting to have it in that kind of sun out there. I wonder how, I know that Las Vegas heat is strong, but wouldn't you think that the Abu Dhabi sun is even going to be stronger?
It'd be great to go ahead and do a graphic of an egg cooking on top of it.
It's a good idea. I'll recommend it to the Madison Square Garden people.
Yeah.
What's the name of that town again?
Abu Dhabi. It's in Qatar. Qatar.
I'll have to look that up.
Good idea. And unfortunately, Wayne, you will not be able to make this, but Bruce is going to a seminar for Shure microphones. What is it, this week, next week? When are you going to the Shure? When are you going to the Shure? Shure thing.
Well, I sent you both things there. There's two of them. There's one in Orange County and there's one here in the San Fernando Valley. And I'm going to the San Fernando Valley one. Shure Master, the 24th of October, next week.
Yeah, it's a master wireless class. They're going to be showing you, I guess, the accent and how to. What I believe I've got the invitation right here as well.
The funny thing is I use them all the time, but I always have an RF guy, so I don't get to do much with the damn things. So I always take the class when I can. It's kind of like the performance manager class. I take all the time because I never get a chance to actually do it.
Yeah,
and it just keeps me sort of in the nose, I suppose.
It's going to be in Orange County. It's going to be at the Orange County Margaret Webb Theater on the 22nd of October. And in San Fernando on the 24th, it's going to be a production resource group. That's going to be a PRG in San Fernando. So that's pretty cool.
Not too far from me.
They'll be going over wireless multi-channel audio systems. Shure's RF Masterclass. So it's called the Masterclass.
So if anybody wants to do it, they need to email Gear Tech, or what's the name of that company?
I think they changed the name to Gear Tech. They changed the name from Audio Gear to Gear Tech.
Right. Email them and ask for an invite, and they'll send you an invite.
Yeah.
So the software that sets up all those microphones, the radio frequencies.
Yeah, wireless workbench. It's really pretty cool.
Yeah, the workbench. Yes. So I've downloaded that quite a few times, but unless you've got the toys to play with, you can't learn anything. You can just
No, you really can't do much unless you're plugged into a rack of mics.
yes,
That's right.
So I
Well, it's not
downloaded
meant
it.
for guys like you. It's not meant
No.
for
But-
wankers. It's meant for guys that are out there.
Well, I wouldn't be one of those, Jan, but I do like to. I do like to practice. If you can get the software of anything,
Well, you
that's
could get the
new,
software easy enough. It's free too, you know.
it's free, but you can't do anything because you're not connected to anything. Whereas with a mixing console, you can get the software and you can get a pretty good idea of what the console does.
So you don't have Shure wireless mics?
I don't have any mics, no. And any time I've ever done any shows, I mean, we're a little town here, so the theatre's got quite a few, and we sub-hire them in quite often. But I don't have anything to do with that. But
I mean, you couldn't borrow one for the afternoon and just bring it home and play with it, hook it up to your computer.
Sometimes one of the fellas here's got about 16 of them now. He's got the R series, and
those were good in their day, yeah.
And 9 times out of 10, Bruce, when I do anything to do with multiple radio mics, I do them individually, starting with number 1 and finishing it with 20 maybe. And you start with number 1, and then you do the next one, and the next one.
So you scan and you turn it on and you go set it 20 feet away, and then you scan the next one.
The next one, and get going.
You know what? It wasn't that long ago I did that, because sometimes you got to do what you got to do, you know?
It still works the same.
What? It works fine. You know what? The only time that having the program is really advantageous, and I don't even know, Gary's my RF guy, and he has a $25,000 scanner. And what he'll do when we work in LA, there is no frequencies available. It's just brutal. And what he'll do is he'll do scans and find the digital the area that the digital TV is in, which takes up quite a few frequencies, right? And he'll stick a wireless mic in the middle of one of those TV frequencies in between 2 carriers. He does some amazingly cool stuff.
So what do I do if I'm doing, and I haven't done one for a couple of years, but I would always get on the internet there, and I download every local radio and telly that would be in the bandwidth to have a look, just to make sure that when I set one up, it doesn't come up too close.
Well, do you have AIS? It's AI. I think it's AIS. I don't remember. It's been a while since I've used it, but it's a program that you can. I think it's a couple of $100 or something, and you put it on your computer and you put in your area code or your zip code or something like zip code, and then it will download all the stuff. And then you go up to the drop downs and you tell it what mics you have and how many and what range they're in. And then you hit go, and it goes and it does a spread for you. And it's very, very good program. The only problem with the program is if you're in an area like if you're in some big hotel doing a convention and the local people are next door with a bunch of wireless mics, you're not going to know. It doesn't incorporate what's happening that moment in that room. So what Gary will do is will save the graph of what's available, and he'll overlay it in the Shure program so he can see some stuff. And then the Shure program, of course, does a scan and tells him what's where and everything, But we always use Axions, and Axions have a bazillion channels available to them,
and they're fast switching as well.
Oh my God, they're so cool. They are so cool.
I haven't seen those yet, but I've read a bit about, and they do,
and they're expensive as hell.
Yes, I did look at that, and they're the wonderful thing of adjust the gain at the head amp at the actual microphone.
Well, they have Dante built into them, which is kind of handy, and then you can set the Dante up so that all the telemetry on the mic comes up on the console in this little window next to the gain knob, right? And then what you can also do is you can set up a transmitter back with the wireless rack and stack backup frequencies into it. So if you have a lead singer and it senses it's going to get a hit or it's getting weak on that lead singer mic, the unit will transmit out to the transmitter and change the channel on the transmitter and the receiver, and you literally will not hear it change. It's just
wow.
it's just amazing. It's very
Oh, that's-
amazing. But to get all that shit, it's not cheap.
Yeah,
No, I
not
was
cheap at
looking
all.
at.
Kurt, do you use Shure
Yeah,
or Sennheiser?
yeah. What do you use,
Or
Kurt?
Electrosonic?
We've got a bunch of ULXD.
Oh, you'll like these? Those are pretty nice.
Yeah, I mean, people are starting to ask for Accent, so I'll probably migrate the ULXD more towards corporate and keep them. I I got asked to provide some Sennheiser. I couldn't find it. Nobody uses Sennheiser.
Yeah. You know what? I had 9000 series a bunch of years ago when I worked at AVHQ. And I'll tell you, they were great, but they're pretty expensive, and try and rent more of them. That's the problem. The great
Yeah.
thing about Axions is I can go into a town with, two 8-packs, my 2 8-packs of Axions. And if I need, 7 more or something for some breakout rooms or something, I can easily get them. Or sometimes not so easily, but
I had to get them from Claire via Sound Image Oakland. I called Vince. His guys hooked me up. But I couldn't find the two that I needed, 6000 series with DPA heads, anywhere from Vancouver to San Francisco. I tried
wow.
I tried every company in the Northwest. Nobody
For
had
the
them.
for the Sennheisers?
Neither the Sennheisers or the DPA capsules.
Now,
Oh,
did you
wow.
use Second Warehouse on that? Did you because you have somebody in your inner fold that's connected with that, right?
I didn't actually look there.
Did he look there? Is the
Write that
question.
down. Write that down.
I don't know. I don't think anybody, he might have. I don't think anybody had them. And we tried PRG. They could get them, but it was going to be a hassle. So I just called Vince. And, because of Vince's access to the Claire inventory, he was able to get them for me.
Yeah. Pretty impressive, hey? Pretty impressive.
Mhm.
Well, listen, does anybody have anything they want to talk about for the public? Okay, good. That's what I wanted to hear. So nothing more to say. Listen, we're going now. Next week, 230. Remember, everything you heard was an opinion today, so do your own research. We're going to stay in the room. We're going to talk about things that we wanted to talk about that we couldn't talk about on the air. So if you want to be part of that conversation, send us a DM, anyone in the room, and they'll send you an invite, and then you can come join us, and we can talk about the shit that we can't talk about live on the air, whatever it is. Right? There you go.
Oh,
You have it
that
that way.
shit. That shit.
Yeah, that kind of shit, like
That kind of
what
shit.
happened with the waterbed and the rug burns. That's it. You just stick with us, and that's it. That'll be what happens. Remember, thanks for watching. Click the like button, share the show, and tell your friends about it. And till then, you make it happen. So stay safe and healthy until we meet again. And bye bye for now. See you next week.